If you were on a bus after a very long day, the weight on your back of your fallen ancestors' history, and a man told you to move. Not because he was tired, feeble, or sore, not because he had been walking all day and could not walk anymore, not because he was going to suffer from an asthmatic attack, but simply because you were black. What would you do? Knowing that if you say no, some stuff is about to go down. You may end up dead and placed 6 feet underground. Your family may suffer. You might be sentenced behind a wall because if you say no, you are refusing the law. That's right, the law, because nobody is on your side. But if you say yes, what will your passiveness provide? If you said okay and decide to move to the back, how will that create any impact? Well, Rosa said no. Simple as can be. She shook her head, refused to stand, and stayed in that seat. Her actions caused an uproar. This little lady was jailed, but if it was not for her, would we ever have prevailed? Rosa started a whole movement and shook their souls. She didn't care whether or not it would wear down her souls. I thank you, Miss Rosa. You were more than a help, because without your bravery, I would not be here to yelp. I am standing tall and I am standing free, looking this man in his face because of your movement towards equality. You shook up the world, Rosa, and I appreciate you for that. So no, sir, you cannot have your seat back.
It was 60 years ago that Miss Rosa Parks gave up her seat. The United States has fought multiple wars since then, but ignores the biggest war that is going on in our streets. You see, this isn't a battle that's overseas. The enemy doesn't involve the Russians, the Chinese, the Japanese, the Vietnamese, the Koreans, Hitler's Germany, or even the Middle East. You can open up any newspaper and see the multiple battles that is going on every week. The victims encompass more than Mike Brown and Trayvon dying on the streets. Sandra Bland was deemed a prisoner of war. Tamir Rice was just a child foot soldier. And Laquan McDonald's murder was introduced to the world as a new world horror. He was 5 shots away from a 21-gun salute, and he wasn't even a troop. Sean Bell was shot 50 times, 1 for every state. So when I talk about the Black Lives Matter campaign, please don't consider that I'm race baiting. If all lives matter so much, where was this during slavery? The fact of the matter is, black lives have been devalued since 1619. That was the year that the first African arrived. You thought that Father Time would have healed all wounds, but the truth is, more black blood is being spilled on the streets than in a hospital room. Some of the enemy that is behind these heinous crimes replace chains and whips to police nightsticks. A taser doesn't even suffice. They just pull out their 9 and take your life. Public education doesn't even teach the next generation how to read and write. You can try your best to start a business in a community because the big corporations are being built in the hood. They might build the churches on the block and call it all good. But if you take one thing from this poem, is that Miss Rosa Parks said no, so the new generation can know that all blacks are worth more than what is being told on TV, social media, and the radio. We come from kings and queens who built a lot of nice things and controlled all the gold and silver. So don't let society call you thugs, bees, and hoes. So since I'm royalty myself, you can only refer to me as the finest. And every time I speak life using my words, people respond, yes, your highness.
An activist for change and a teacher of peace, Rosa Parks made a name by not giving up her seat. On a jury bus ride from a long work day, "No, sir," are the words I'd imagine she'd say. She was told to give her seat to a standing white man. She was swiftly arrested for refusing this demand. Refusing to be enslaved by the laws of injustice. Refusing to board these segregated buses. A bus boycott was quickly discussed and organized. Montgomery, Alabama was the center of a great divide. Not giving her seat was more than just an action. What Miss Parks did was an act of compassion. By refusing that order and not folding in any way, Rosa took a stand so that we may stand today. It's not that we don't believe in justice. It's just that we are tired of it being just us. Stand up against the laws of prejudices and injustice. Stand up against a system so full of corruption. Stand up against adversity, difficulty, and distress. Stand up so that black lives are no longer viewed as being less. Stand up for yourself and future generations. Stand up to the poor guidance and the miseducation. Stand up and let them know just how we are feeling. Stand up because if we don't, then no one will be willing.